and we'll just give a few minutes for our public to get on.
You are live.
Okay, thank you. So everybody just take, a minute or two to read the wording. Okay, so I would just ask for trustees to look at that wording, and do we have a mover for the motion? Trustee Tugwood? Okay, if you could please read the motion.
In the absence of further provincial health measures for schools effective Monday, September 20th, 2021, the following are to be implemented. Unless a medical exemption is provided, masks become mandatory for all students, K to 12, and staff in all common areas and in classrooms when students are not seated at their desks. All visitors are to wear a mask at all times. Students participating in sporting events and physical education classes are not required to wear a mask.
Okay, so we'll open up if there's discussion or debate on the way the motion is being moved. Trustee Epon?
Chair, I believe this will cover the basis. What we can probably say is that at this time, we know the pandemic is still ongoing. Cases are still on the rise, and some of our most vulnerable who are in our care, who are the children, don't have vaccinations or anything that is being provided to support them, especially under the ages of 12 and below. So this motion is to support our community and the most vulnerable within them, which is the children in our care.
Madam Chair, we just want to make sure that all trustees, this is all the language they want to be included in this clause.
Yes, that's what I've asked trustees to make sure that this is the motion that you want, and Trustee Tugwood has read it.
Trying to include that clause in that should things change, right? We will revert to follow up the chief medical officer as to if the provinces make any changes to.
Okay, well, that will be an amendment to the motion. So we'll have to vote on the amendment first. So are you gonna put the clause in?
Sorry.
Trustee Epon?
There was, Madam Chair, there was some discussion about contact notification of parents.
Notification as well.
Did you want that included, Trustee Tugwood?
Yes. We're talking about including that.
Include that.
So would that be a friendly amendment to that quick?
I think it's going beyond,
Okay.
a friendly amendment, so. Trustee Epon, if you want to add your amendment.
Yeah.
Can you read it out?
Okay. Our better services is no longer providing close contact trace. Schools are only made aware of cases by individuals self-disclosing. If schools are made aware of a positive case within the classroom, they will inform affected families. Please note our schools may not be aware of all COVID cases. You want to send it back to you?
The last sentence.
I think we should remove the last sentence.
Trustee Spinach? You're on mute.
Sorry, guys. Just a comment on that fourth bullet. Just in reading all the reports from all the other schools, none of them made any reference to the fourth bullet. So again, I'm wondering if we're getting off the mark here.
Trustee Stirwell?
So let's vote on this and
I agree with trustee Sidovich that
okay,
none of us made reference to that, so let's just leave it.
thank you.
Okay, so that, you're withdrawing that amendment.
Yeah, I'm good on that amendment, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments about the motion? So as I was saying before, the motion was moved. I do feel like we are going beyond our expertise, but this just is not in our expertise. We're going beyond the mask mandatory from last fall. Absolutely understand. It is a very concerning situation in a lot of our communities. But if really our advocacy should be to government to take control and lead us through this rather than us trying to make these decisions.
Agreed.
I still, we are completely changing our position, and it was very difficult what we went through last fall, and we're going through the same thing. So we're going to get the other side, and we're going to be, dealing with those parents, and we have to be prepared to provide that rationale. My recommendation is to actually hold this and have a special meeting on Friday after we hear from government. So that is my recommendation, is to postpone this motion until a potential special board meeting on Friday. Trustee Tucker?
I'm wondering if we should add something like, if further provincial health measures for schools are announced pertaining to the above, then we would defer to those recommendations. Doing something like that.
Well,
But we're not doing that now.
I think it's cleaner if we defer the motion to a special board meeting on Friday. And I guess I can make that motion as an amendment to our situation. I'll ask our parliamentarian if that would be a motion that I can put forward. Trustee Epler?
We have the motion on the, we have to deal with that before we bring on any other motion to the floor. We have a motion now on the floor.
Right.
That's what you're bringing.
Okay, but my
You
recommendation,
change the intent of every discussion to the motion on the floor. We have to deal with one and then bring on another motion.
We would all have to vote against this motion, and then you would have to present your motion.
So we have to have a vote on this motion.
Yes.
you're dealing with the business at hand. which is
Yeah,
this motion.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So
then-
that's what I will bring forward. If this motion is defeated, I'll bring forward that we table this until a special board meeting that could be called on Friday after we do hear government their consideration. So the motion has been made and discussion has happened. And does this mover of the motion want to speak at all?
I think everything's
In
been
closing.
said.
Okay, so I will call the question. So all those in favor? Okay, and those opposed? Okay, so 4 in favor and 1 opposed, so the motion is carried. Okay, is there any direction to our superintendent as we go forward on how to communicate to parents and implement what we've just passed? Trustees Vidic?
Just that we've taken all the reports into consideration from the other divisions. We're not forging any new paths here. There's a lot of other school divisions that have made that's gone down the same route, and they're not getting parents lined up at the door. So I guess just make the note that we're not alone in this, in our decision. We've used the data that we've collected and made the decision appropriately, I
Hurley,
believe.
me from the board?
If I understand correctly, our school administrators have been asking a hot button that they are dealing with are parents who want to be notified if there's a positive case. I'm hearing that you don't want, that we're not doing that as a division. So is that the direction the board is providing?
Trustee Airport, did you have a comment?
As it's now, that's the direction we provided. And I believe as we've all come to the end of this, it's a decision that we've made just for fall in line with the decision that was made by the chief medical officer. So we've come now in line. We are an island in our area. We are a community. And if a community decision was made by the chief medical officer and this was left with us, we've made a decision to fall in line. Let's see what changes they bring up as they've been made since yesterday and today. Should some of all of this, then as we all know, we can call a quick special meeting and come and address and deal with that. And I hope and wish the progress is listening to all other advocates that have said, let's bring back contact tracing. Let's bring back notification. Let's get people advised and notified so we can all protect ourselves at this time of the pandemic. That's my only comment. Thank you.
So I think we still have a conflict if the potential measures that are brought in are very different than what we have here. We could have a conflict. So what is the direction that the trustees want to take in the event that that happens?
Sorry, say that again?
If there's additional measures that come in or some kind of announcement today or four, and the measures are very different than what we've said here, how are we going to manage that? And what is the direction first?
Is that not when we would have a special board meeting to discuss it if the direction has changed?
As well, a provincial medical direction will suffice more than our direction here. So then we can come back and address any gaps that are in that. Right. Province came out on September 10th and said it's max mandate. That's it.
Okay, so are we scheduling a special board meeting automatically?
We won't until we find out what.
No, not yet.
In conflict with what we have.
Okay, so if there is a conflict, then we will look at a special board meeting
Yes.
to somehow align or
To address it at that time.
Okay. Yes, trustee Searle?
For example, if the government says today at their meeting that contact tracing is going to be in effect. We didn't talk about that. Well, it doesn't matter because it's
No,
automatic.
it doesn't, no. They're just restarting something that they. Okay, so we'll move on to ASBA survey. Okay,
Can trustee Savinovich see the screen clear enough, or should I expand it a bit? Thank you.
okay, so there's a few questions from ASBA that they need us to they need some feedback. So the first question, what information do you need from government in order to make local decisions related to COVID-19 mitigation measures? Trustee Yvonne?
All relevant data, all relevant local data. Because we don't know what they have.
Yeah, for sure.
I would just ask trustees, if you're asking to write a letter saying this isn't your sandbox, you shouldn't be asking for the data to make the decision. You should just be saying this should not be our decision, period.
No, but
We've
again,
already, yeah, but we've already made a decision that we're going to send 2 letters, right, to the 2 ministers. So we really are not comfortable with making this decision. So if we're asking for more information to make decisions regarding COVID, then we're conflicting with what we're saying.
That's my point.
but
You're in
mitigating
essence
the-
saying we want to make the medical
Yeah.
decision.
But mitigating those measures related to COVID-19. When we know that they are making that decision, that supports again, right, our guidance in the local context of enforcing what they be. Because some of the contentions that has been happening is that people not knowing and having any data supporting the decision that is being imposed on us. And that is worrying, right? If people do understand the decision that is imposed on us, and here is the data that government is sharing with us based on the decision they are imposing on us. And they say, Mom, Dad, here is the information I have.
Right, but
But we're not making the decision, they are
No.
making the decision.
so, trustee Yvonne, I don't think the data, like, that's not our expertise again, to interpret data or that sort of thing, like, we have not made decisions on data. That's not what, like, it's above what we do. But if we want, in order to make local decisions related to COVID, it's the guidance. We need the guidance from Alberta Health Services to help us mitigate. So we need guidance for schools.
But we've been
Leadership
getting some of these-
guidance.
We've been getting some of these guidance, but it's the data supporting some of those guidance is what we don't receive, right?
But what are we gonna do with data? I don't,
Okay. No,
I just wonder what we're going to do with data.
It's understanding the data as to why this decision is being made and imposed on us, right? And that has been a lot of the contention in our communities, even in the media, right? How are some of these decisions being made? Where is the data supporting some of these? Right? We are not making those decisions, but having access to some of those data give us the support. No, I wouldn't be, we can take it off if you think.
No,
I'm not
like,
arguing
I
that.
think what we want is we want Alberta Health Services and the Chief Medical Officer to take the lead in making decisions around COVID.
Okay,
Yes.
That, to me, we've said that a few times, we've made a motion. We struggled through a motion that we weren't comfortable with because we wanted the expertise. So I think that's just how we should answer it. And then it lines up with the letters that we're going to send to the two ministers.
okay, is that, we can change that, please.
If you're able to capture that.
And then the bullet next, the chief medical officer, and you just take the decision making. And AHS.
Okay. Challenges.
It's only a little.
Well, first of all, just anxiety of our parents, anxiety of our staff. Probably, what have you heard from? Well, we can definitely say the contact tracing.
Yeah.
You know, the parents or families want.
We're experiencing increased absenteeism
Yes.
and parents feeling that they don't have any information
Yeah.
related to COVID cases in
Yeah.
their.
So that should be lack of
responses.
contact tracing. Absenteeism above the 10% threshold in some of our.
Next messaging.
Yeah, well, and the challenge as a board to make decisions, to make health decisions.
We didn't use the word guidance in the first one, and we should. We just said they should do this. Guidance. Like,
And where?
in the very first one. Number one.
Should make these decisions and provide guidance.
Yeah, because guidance was sort of the key that we were missing, right?
But that, I mean, that's what we did do though. We followed the guidance of the chief medical officer, but it was downloaded to the school communities.
Yeah.
Am I putting it in there or taking it out?
I mean, like, I don't think it should go in there. I don't think it needs to. It's just, because I think we really wanted the decision-making to be, come from the chief medical officer and Alberta Health Services. Does everybody agree with that?
I agree.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Spitich, do you have any comments? Any other challenges that we want to I think the other thing is we are all very concerned for the well-being and health of our students and staff. I mean, even though there's varying degrees of, we don't, like, there's no right or wrong
Yeah.
in how everybody feels, but we are sincerely concerned, for the well-being and health of staff and students.
And then this message is for a lack of clear communication, clarity of communication.
From where?
From the government, you mean?
Okay, let's go to the next one, because there might be places to put that. We're not using Robitussin. I think we just need to reiterate, we need to, Chief Medical Officer and Alberta Health Services have to take back, resume the full decision-making in regards to guidance over COVID.
So go from the fact that other services, yeah. Okay, next. So advocate for government to take back the responsibility of contact tracing and verification. That will be very key. It's knowing.
You might want to put in there as well the contact tracing and advising schools of the numbers, right? Because that's important to parents and staff. Communication of it's actually, parents want to know if there's a COVID case in their classroom. So that they can, be aware and manage it.
Make their decisions accordingly.
Yeah. or would you say a classroom classroom, COVID positive cases?
Leave it at schools. Classrooms like the schools.
It's just so that if there's,
So
some
schools are,
parents, yeah, some parents can be informed.
okay, next.
Oh,
Okay, so
that
that's,
was it.
Then send it to them.
okay, and getting back to the 2 letters. The letters are to Minister Chandro and Minister LaGrange, CC or MLAs, and ASBA. And the content of the letter is basically the same as what we've responded to the survey.
Just for clarification, do you want the letter addressed to both in one letter or separate letters?
I think they can go the same. One letter, the 2 ministers. CC MLAs, CC to ASBA. Anybody else? No. And some of the wording can be taken from my email that went to MLAs, I guess. Or do you have that?
Is Chandra on there?
Yeah, it'll go to both of them, both Minister Chandra and Minister LaGrange. Anything else that we want to say in the letter? Okay. Our last item, good news stories. Any good news? Trying to find some.
Well, the good news, I believe, yeah, school is back in session. We've seen several. Not the best of attendance in some of the areas, but again, we all do know that kids are back happy, doing the best that they can. I'll say that's positive. On the positive note, sooner or later, we will know how everybody faring in this pandemic. But I know schools are open and kids are happy.
Trustee Temple?
I will share that our community, our parish community was very happy to see the blueprints for the new Father Lacombe school in the church. So that was really nice that everybody had a chance to.
Our new priest, Father Matthew, had his first mass, I believe, at Guadalupe, and I was able to go. So he actually said he was a little nervous, but he seems to be fitting in the community just fine. So anyhow, it was nice to meet him and see him in school.
We did have a goodbye for our father, Father Schmidt in Lacombe. And be welcoming authors, Cindy Joseph.
Okay, any other comments? Is that card going around to everybody? The card that we're gonna send to Price of Redeemer?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Just didn't have a right scan, so he will sign it off soon.
Okay, positive path forward, there's not much going on there, that is going to be updated after our self-evaluation. The annual work plan is there, and trustee expense claims. Board calendar, maybe we should just pull that up quickly and see where we're at over the next little bit. So we're back here on Monday, September 20th for 9 AM. And I thought there, is that audit committee meeting confirmed yet? Ed? I thought it was like on the 22nd or something.
I haven't put it in, but I'll double check.
Yeah, just in case, because for any trustees coming and going, just make sure they know their next few. And we do have one session, it'll be a virtual session, kind of to wrap up our board self-evaluation. So that was on our schedule with our facilitator, so that is coming up, I think at the end of the month.
29th.
Yeah, 29th, yeah,
At 5 p.m.
yeah, so. Trustee Cyril?
How long is the meeting on September 20th?
It usually is a full day, like till 3, 2 or 3. Depending on how much we have to like talk.
I thought it was usually about half a day, but Tim, do you recall?
Yeah, it's been half days.
Okay. Yeah, it could be.
Depends how much tar and feathers you want to get.
Yeah. Okay, the board action sheet. I was just wondering, the policy, or the admin procedure that was gonna come back to policy in renaming of schools or naming of schools, it's not on the action sheet anymore. It was there, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. That is, I think, I mentioned it to somebody, I don't know if it was at the last meeting, but CCSSA is discussing that at their October meeting. We want to try to get a provincial similar naming policy or procedure, and then I'll bring it back then.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed it wasn't on the action sheet, so
Okay.
it should still be on there.
It
as in
hasn't been
progress.
forgotten. Okay, so I have the board evaluation facilitator and the superintendent evaluation facilitator. We'll defer that decision and place it on the October board meeting agenda. Policy committee will look at the per diem wording. On the day of the board meeting, trustees would not be able to claim the per diem for committee of the whole or other committees that meet. COVID-19 will communicate enhanced measures to parents, staff, and media. I would request that if we could just hang back for a few minutes after the meeting to talk about that. COVID-19, the board will submit a letter to the Minister of Health and Education expressing that decisions regarding COVID health measures in schools are best left to the CMOH and government. We'll copy the MLAs and ASBA. And we'll use Michelle's email to MLAs as further information. That's what I have.
Okay, we're closing prayer.
Lord, my God,
A mind
mind
to
to know
know
you,
you,
a heart to seek you, wisdom to find you,
conduct
pleasing to
pleasing to
you,
you,
faithful perseverance in waiting for you,
and
and a hope of finally embracing you.
Amen.
Amen.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Pray for us.